Let's bring the politeness into our next step. Let's bring the politeness into our body politeness. How polite is my body in the proximity of this human being? Come closer.
Ay, no quiere ir. My neck.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Orlando, and this is my son Daniel. He was born from 26 weeks. He has disability in his legs, something in his brain. We are seeing the improve in the health of Daniel.
Me pareció muy bonito la forma de trabajar, la forma de trabajarlo, de tocarlo, de sentirlo, la forma en la que intentan calmarlo, me parece muy interesante y muy bonito.
Be polite with your feet. Be polite with your heart, with your spine. Be polite. And then just let your contact sink in. Try to have your hand close to the chest so you feel his heart. And breathe like his heart wants to do.
Penso che il più grosso contributo che possiamo dare noi sia condividere la fortuna di essere nati in un paese che ci permette di vivere insomma in una maniera occidentale, e quindi io vorrei poter condividere con queste persone che hanno delle problematiche salutari.
All the people from Heart with Heart are very kind, very helpful, and we are glad to have them here in Costa Rica.
Bueno, digamos que a la sociedad se le olvida la importancia de la ayuda para estos niños, que también son muy importantes para la sociedad, son parte de nuestra sociedad.
Dígale, hola, salude, levante las manos y saluda. Eso.
Entonces me parece muy importante que les ayuden, que los financien, que no se olviden de ellos.
La dicha de trabajar y coordinar con la fundación desde hace más de 2 años que tienen de visitar a Costa Rica.
La experiencia para mí ha sido muy bonita, hemos tenido la oportunidad de compartir muchos criterios, y lo más importante y lo que me parece mejor es que la institución, los chicos se están beneficiando de esta atención. Nosotros estamos muy agradecidos.
Es importante que tal vez las personas que nos están viendo a nosotros en este momento, Fundación, para poder seguir desarrollando los programas, porque son programas que se desarrollan en diferentes partes del mundo. Acá en Costa Rica vienen a Cartago y vienen al sector del Caribe, propiamente a Talamanca.
Mi nombre es Rubén Centeno, estoy muy complacido de colaborar con la Fundación Manos con Corazón y con el doctor Jorge Aranda, con el grupo que lo acompaña aquí, la Asociación HWH y todos mis hermanos indígenas, en favor de una población que ha sido descuidada durante los últimos 100 años, diría yo, porque nunca había visto que se le dé atención a la población discapacitada. Me mueve mucho hacer eso, porque dentro de toda familia siempre hay un paciente que adolece y necesita ser atendido. Nosotros habíamos olvidado a esa población que tanto lo merece, porque son seres humanos, son igual que cualquiera de nosotros y merece igual que cualquiera de nosotros disfrutar de la vida, de este gran regalo que Sibú, Dios nos ha dado, que es respirar y estar vivo. Después de eso, lo demás es ganancia. Muchas gracias.
Super important for me is an opportunity to work with other colleagues.
We learn a lot from each other, as we all come from different countries, we all have different backgrounds, we all have different studies before.
Everyone has a different type of, different way of treating, and we could talk about that and
put different things together, and I think that made it very good.
È bello il fatto che ogni persona venga da paesi diversi e abbia un modo diverso di trattare un paziente.
For me, the biggest contribution wasn't actually the one I gave. It's really the growing in myself from what I got from Jorge or from the kids or the people here also in the jungle. This was for me the most important part because it was an adventure, but it was also like a mission.
È la prima volta che vengo in Costa Rica e che partecipo a una missione umanitaria.
Facciamo tutti la stessa professione, però è bello appunto vedere nuovi modi di pensare, nuovi modi di trattare con lo stesso obiettivo, cioè quello della salute del paziente, di aiutarlo il più possibile.
Non è soltanto un contributo in ambito sanitario, ma soprattutto un contributo a livello umano.
Learned a lot from everyone. I hope they did from me as well, and I hope together we made the perfect treatment for the children.
We are here trying to help as many children and also adults as possible.
Perché io credo che per loro il fatto di essere presi in considerazione, di ricevere un aiuto sia fondamentale.
It's really nice to work with Jorge. He has a lot of experience already.
I've never treated children this young.
Sometimes it's in the little details, how you make contact with the patient, how you look at each other.
He knows how to keep them calm while playing.
How you speak to each other, with which intonation, how you speak to the parents. This creates already a base. A child can feel safe.
I learned from Jorge a little bit of patience and a little bit open-minded.
Jorge gives his time for people who needs help, and so this for me is an example.
Un transporte y desde donde deje hay que caminar. What we're trying to figure out is how many patients and what kind of patients we have in each group, because based on that we're going to divide our volunteers. And then we're trying to identify how far they are from each other, how much walking there is, because we might have to get an extra transport. We have a bus, we have a minibus, we have a quad, and we have 2 or 3 motorbikes.
So we had 3 groups. I'm taking one, he's taking one, and the third one is for the third house.
So he has cerebral palsy and he has epileptic crisis up to once a month. That day he has up to 6 to 7 crises within the same day. Take him like 3 to 4 days to fully recover after that. Let's see what we can find and what's going on. Can he breathe through the mouth? He's always with the mouth open, even when he's sleeping. He snores through the mouth. He has an ear infection right now. Un poquito como para los lados. So he have a deviation of the spine as well. Le han hecho una valoración de los ojos. Did they check their eyes? Nada. The mother said that I asked her why he got the cerebral palsy. Usually it's either congenital, meaning that it's coming from the intrauterine life before being born, or perinatal, which is like a trauma happening within the first year of life because of a birth trauma. Something happened during birth, so there is a lack of oxygen going to different parts of the brain, and that have an effect on different motor cortex area and also different cognitive areas. He seems to have a non-standard, non-typical type of cerebral palsy. So that's why I was asking the mother, and then she told me that when he was 2 years old, he got meningitis, and that's where he started to have all the symptoms. So after the meningitis, he developed a hemiparesis on the left-hand side, and then he also developed the nystagmus after the meningitis. So you have a chemical-induced neurological trauma. Where can that be found in the body, so we can try to see if it's still present and see if it needs to be addressed. Now, when it comes to the scoliosis, we have a neurological induced scoliosis because of the hemiplegia on the left-hand side. So how can we treat that? We have a muscle tone discrepancy, left versus right. Yeah? And as a result, we develop an scoliosis. We understand that, but where does the curvature of the scoliosis start from? From the feet up or from the head down? When he was 2, then he got the meningitis and he did not walk until he was 5 years old. So from 2 to 5, 3 years, he did not walk. If it is because of a weakness of one side of the body, how can we balance that? If the scoliosis is because of the neurological component, we do not have, or we should not have, an anatomical length discrepancy. When you have this type of patients that you know as a healthcare professional working from the government, there is not much you can do for them. There is not that many people, not that many professionals that you can refer them to. And that there is not much therapy that he can get. You tend to keep it like very simple, too simple. And that is exactly what we are trying not to do. We are trying to understand why he has a scoliosis, why he has a lateral curvature of the spine, and not just pretend that it's obvious, because it's not. So we really want to understand why is that happening and not take it for granted. How about if we start from the beginning, start from zero, and pretend we don't know anything about the patient, and then see if we match the label given by a previous healthcare professional. And unfortunately, we tend to have a different opinion than the one that had been given to the families, which in a way we like it because it gives more light and hope to a different approach and a different way of finding help to that patient. On the other hand, it's kind of tricky because you don't want the community to miss the respect that they have for the healthcare professional. So, what we're trying to do is document what we're doing here, bring that documentation of our physical evaluation, neurological evaluation back to the healthcare professional saying, listen, I know this patient have been told to have this. I don't know who said it. After our evaluation, maybe in the last few years, the patient has evolved in such a way that might be something else going on. Would you mind keeping an eye on that? There's a way that we had to be very diplomatic, not to offend anyone and have everyone supporting what we're doing, because obviously we need to be part of the system and we need to have the support of the national healthcare system as much as possible and helping them with all those things that they cannot reach to, right? We understand that it's very complicated to be everywhere. If you cannot get there, don't worry, we will get there and we will report back to you and we'll build it together as a team. Someone who is within the healthcare profession considering doing this volunteering is that coming here and working with these children really gives you the opportunity, not only these children but this community, put into practice that you have been trained on, which is help. I hope that anyone who went to college to become a healthcare professional did it because they really wanted to help people. These people really need help. And that, to me, should be the point of becoming a healthcare professional, to help those who really need help. That is actually why I ended up setting up what we have as Hands with Heart, because put it at service for those who need it the most. This is one of the populations, one of the communities that we have identified who really need help. Listen, you learn how to help others. Come with me and I'll take you where you can be of great help. Hopefully we will figure out a way to get money, some funding, some donations, in order to, number one, reduce the cost of the volunteers to come here so we can have more volunteers coming, and number two, start paying some salaries, even if it's just a small amount, in a way to thank them for the time and all the things that they're doing for us.